Okay, need to get my chat up. Hopefully my chat is working when I first get onto it, because this is always a weird problem. Hey, it says it's live for once. Yay. Watch new videos on your TV. No, that would kind of subsequent the purpose of actually streaming. Because I wouldn't be able to stream? Well, I wouldn't... Yeah, wouldn't be... It would be... Actually, I could. It would be odd, actually. Watch it on this TV at the same time while playing it. That'd be ridiculous. Alright. Going to save before I go back in there.
Let's see what we have. Let us begin.
All right.
Why, hello, ghost.
Fear me.
Sorry, I was thinking about which one to do. So I was deep in thought. Can't do anything in Orlais yet. Nada. Damn. Sorry about the late response to 90. Keep switching up the way. Like I said, I have a few mods installed due to this is my third time playing the game, and I just really don't want it to be.
The Inquisition cannot remain, Ambassador. If you can't prove it was founded on Justinia's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked his life to slow the magic of the breach. Master Kadash, this is the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine
Hear
Justinia's greatest supporters.
Yes,
And
I'm
the
a
rightful
dwarf.
owner of Haven. How's d'Aurelion lend Justinia these lands for pilgrimage? This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
This is the first I've heard of Haven having an owner outside the Chantry.
My wife, Lady Machin of Denerim, has claimed to Haven by ancient treaty with the monarchs of Ferelden. We were honored to lend its use to Divine Justinia. She was
So
a
how
woman
are you
of
doing,
supreme merit.
Ghost?
I will not let an upstart
And
order
yes, this
remain
is
on
my
her holy
voice.
grounds.
People have been injured. You can't just turn them out onto the snow.
And who benefits if they stay?
Divine Justinia, Marquis. The Inquisition, not the Chantry, is sheltering the pilgrims who mourn her.
Why is the Chantry ignoring the faithful?
Because it remains in shock. We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us.
The Dragon
She would,
Age
in
games
fact, trust
all
us
have
to
their
forge
own
new
types of
alliances
stories.
to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
I'll think on it, Lady Montillier. The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
Now, this game's about, so best way to put it is, the first two previous game actions happened that led to issues, which led up to this game. In the first game, there was the Fifth Blight. And all that had repercussions that lasted throughout all of Thedas, which is the realm we're currently in. And then in the Free Marches, because of the Fifth Blight and issues between mages and Templars, got super out of hand to the point where it actually brokered in a full-blown war. Now, the Templars are meant to keep the mages safe from evil influences, from becoming abominations, protecting the mages and protecting people from mages. It's not about them controlling the mages, it's more about them being a safeguard for mages and that. But it turned into something else where they were basically imprisoning mages, and now it's a full-blown rebellion of mages versus Templars, which is what's happening in this game. And you do have to side with one. I personally like siding with the mages because the Templars are kind of dicks. The self-righteous people, and I really do not like people that are super self-righteous in the fact that they think they're better than other people. It's a huge thing that annoys me, because they make themselves seem better. So there was a conference held by Divine Justinia the Fifth, and she was trying to broker a truce between the mages and the Templars. That's what the conference was about. So, something showed up, caused mass death, and then Divine Justinia was being held captive and was about to be sacrificed, and my character shows up, and something happened, an explosion happened, and then a giant rift appeared in the sky, calling forth demons. Well, the thing about it is, while mages are dangerous, but anyone's dangerous. Doesn't matter if they're magic users or not. Anyone can be dangerous. Give someone who has power, who has bad intention and gets power. They're dangerous. Like, in the first game, the reason why I don't like Balin. It's actually a funny thing, because I read up on the sides and stuff, and the person was like, the main difference between Balin and Harrowmount is if you start off as a dwarf commoner, Harrowmount seems like a prick. Stuck-up prick. If you play as a dwarf noble, Balin comes off as a prick, and I'm like, makes sense. Although the only reason why as a nobleman I don't ever side with Balin is due to one simple fact. Balin killed his brother and framed me. Well, our brother and framed me. Dick.
Do the Durelians actually have a claim on this place?
His Grace's position is not so strong as he presents it. Despite our Ferelden relations, the Durelions are our legion. If the Marquis wishes to claim Haven, Empress Selene must negotiate with the Ferelden on his behalf. Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
Who sounds like a wild character? Oh, there's plenty of fun characters in the game. One of my favorite characters from the first games... that's fine. One of my favorite characters from the first game is Zevran. He was an assassin sent to kill my character. Upon failing, you can either kill him or recruit him. Either way, he's going to be hunted. And they're not going to fuck with me. So he sticks around, and it's quite funny. Zevran is, interesting. He's also bi. No, Zevran's hilarious. He's an assassin and he's bi. One of the comments, if you get his affinity for you up enough, is, oh, you look... Doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. Doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. Zevran's like, oh, you look tense. How about I help you relax with some massage and oils? And there's a comment you can make that's basically, oh, is that all? Oh, these games. And there's, there actually is, I didn't know there was a way to get a 4-way in the first game, but I do know about the 3-way, which is, if you have a female character, Liliana, and then you meet Isabella at the end. When you finally beat Isabella in the card game, you can actually get a 3-way instigated with Liliana and Isabella with your main character. By the way, that dwarf's my main character. I designed him earlier today on stream.
I'm so pleased the Marquis isn't tossing us out into the cold.
His Grace is only the first of many dignitaries we must contend with.
You expect more people in Haven?
Undoubtedly. And each visitor will spread the story of the Inquisition after they depart. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
Also, she's bi. Well, I picked the beard, the hair, edited the face myself. The armor's just something I got. I'll be doing other stuff. Edited the nose, the eyes, the look. I did all of that by hand myself.
May I ask what brought you to work
And I
for the
usually go
Inquisition?
with her.
Sister
I
Liliana
like
approached
her.
me. We've been acquainted for quite some time. For better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has become as interesting as she promised.
I personally like her. Montilier.
What sort of dealings have you had with nobility?
For some years, I was the royally appointed court ambassador from Antiva to Orlais. The nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with, I know through reputation.
The Inquisition is lucky to have you as an advocate, Lady Montilier.
Thank you. Let us hope so.
Oh, I
Vivas's politics have
usually
become
date her.
agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths. But please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done. Good day to you.
Tell me how you came to work for the Inquisition again.
I'd been considering leaving my post in It's to everyone's benefit if we prevent the...
So, was...
The violence must be curbed before we see it turn to full-scale war.
I can only imagine the bloodshed if it escalates further.
I'm afraid history holds many examples of what will happen if it does.
How do you and Liliana know each other?
We moved through similar circles in Orlais. I believe we actually met in Val.
I usually end up romancing
Liliana was
her.
quite an accomplished player of the game by then.
What exactly do you mean when you say, the game?
Forgive me. The game refers to the slow duels of influence among the noble and powerful of Orlais. It's a rather light-hearted name for the matter, but Orlesians are fond of playful touches.
Sorry, I had my thought of Zevran again. Zevran's funny.
What business are the Montiliers in, exactly?
We began as merchants. My ancestors founded the first trade routes to Rivain. We once sent entire fleets across the Waking Sea.
Liliana I like too, but Liliana's...
But
Liliana's not exactly my style for
These
dating
days, our
someone.
vessels
She's
are a
someone
touch
that
more
I think would
modest.
be fun to hang out with type of person.
What did you do before coming here?
I had the great honor of serving Antiva's crown as ambassador to Orlais. I'm also first in line to become the head of House Montilier, though my siblings attend to our mercantile affairs.
How strong are your past loyalties?
I would never have given up my position if I did not intend to fully commit to the Inquisition. We cannot fall back on borders. Antiva is as threatened as
And yes,
any
there's a lot
country
of
by the
talking in
rebellion.
this game.
If anything, the alliances I forged there may help our
You can
current
skip through
cause.
most of the dialogue, but since I'm
Do you think the
streaming it
Inquisition will
so people
continue
can
after we
watch,
seal the
not
breach?
much point in doing that.
If we prove ourselves by
I already
healing
know
the
what all the
breach,
dialogue
people
is.
may turn to us for other things. Protection, counsel, justice. The Inquisition offered these once to those in need.
Tell me, do you believe I was saved by Andraste at the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I should much like to believe so, Your Worship. The miracles Andraste performed were so long ago, they're difficult to picture. If it were truly her and the Fate who saved you... Well, in any case, many already believe you walk in the Maker's light.
Let's speak later.
Another time. Greetings.
What exactly does your job entail?
I meet with ambassadors from various factions and countries and cement alliances with them. We are a young cause. Diplomacy is essential to our credibility.
That's okay.
Then
Usually
you
what
speak for
happens
the
is a person will
Inquisition
show
with
up
these
for
nobles.
3 seconds, say hi, then leave.
Someone must foster goodwill on our behalf,
They don't even
as
get
well
to
as prevent
do anything
controversy
else.
as news of us spreads.
Or they don't talk at all, so I'm just talking to myself.
How heavily are our actions scrutinized?
Make no mistake, every noble house, every throne is waiting to see
I will
what the
dominate
Inquisition
them all.
does
No, I'm
next.
kidding.
Many are willing to pledge support if offers are made in just the right fashion. I intend to see that they are.
So what are you working on then?
Let's speak later.
Goodbye. Please tell...
Ooh, Fallowmeyer. I forgot about that scene, right? Throw it over.
If you find something,
Maker, though the darkness comes upon me, I shall embrace the light. I shall endure. What you have
Oh, that's
created,
interesting.
no one can tear asunder.
I'm really good at making stories up in my head, but I suck at doing art. I can make the art in my head, but my hands can't translate. Aggravating. Very aggravating. I'm really good with colors, though.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed
Sadly, I
are
don't
the
work.
righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written.
I was in college
that
for
what you want
electrical
from us?
engineering. I was going for 4 years, then I was going
To
to
die,
do
so
2
that
years
your
of
will is done?
mechanical engineering.
Is death your only blessing? You speak Fandraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust?
Sadly, my health.
Even if you didn't support the
decided
Divine's
to-
peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
I speak for no one but myself, and I have no answers for you.
You probably don't even worship the Maker. Lucky. He asks a lot. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
Maybe you should be angry at the people who murdered her?
If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the Divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come, to work then. We will speak later.
I think Liliana's fun, but not really the type of person I am. Get interested in. Go. Let's see.
Must be strange, seeing one of your people held up as the herald of honor.
People making a big fuss for no
Heaven has
reason.
been filled with silence. I knew then, and crossed my heart.
Boy, sometimes people drive me batty.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
Damn straight they need to practice.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
At least I get everyone's attention.
That you did. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
I must have this mark for a reason. It will work, I'm sure of it.
Provided we can secure aid, but I'm confident we can. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new Divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
Yeah, I can flirt with him, but I'm not going to.
You understand our situation. I appreciate your opinion.
Look around. Our people are well organized and committed. Despite what the clerics think, we are in the best position to help. There's still a lot of work.
He's an
ahead.
ex-Templar.
Commander,
He
Sir
was in
Ryden has
Dragon Age
reported our
2
supply
and
lines.
also Dragon Age.
As I was saying.
In the first game, he wanted to kill all the mages in the tower. The second game...
Yes?
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't offer.
Really,
more
all I
than you
did
already
was
know.
beat the beginning
Anything
of the
else,
game,
I will
which is the
answer as
prologue.
best I can.
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy your training?
I wanted to learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I
Well.
would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the chant of transfiguration.
Phasing through each other in the
Most
background,
exciting
you know,
task.
right over
I
here.
admit, my mind sometimes wanders.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages. That sort of thing.
There's a vigil
I
first.
noticed that
You're
too.
meant to be at
The
peace
sword
during
strikes
that
are
time, but your
offbeat.
life is about to change.
It's like, that
When
one's
it's
better
over,
in the
you
background
give
right
yourself
over
to a
there.
life of service.
For timing
When
and
you'll give
stuff.
your
This one is
the
just
first
off.
draft of Lyria.
Off. So off.
As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker. and the
Yeah,
path
for
of
this group,
eternity.
no. These ones at least look like they are somewhat in sync. This is completely out of sync.
Do the Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
What do you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession of the beast.
See,
Why did you
that's
join
what
the
I
Order?
believe in.
I could
Like,
think of
I
no
think,
better calling than to protect those in need.
personally, I
used to
think
beg
magic
the
is not
Templars
an
to
evil
chant
thing. There are people that will use it for evil,
First, they
so
merely
yes,
humanize.
that is bad.
I must have shown
However, I think the
promise,
Templars
at least
should
a
work
willingness
with the
to learn.
mages in order to protect them
Knight
and
captain
protect them
spoke
from
to my
other
parents
people
on
and
my
themselves.
behalf. They agreed to
So they
send me
should
for
be
training.
there to act more like a moral
13
guide
back home.
and to be there just in case
13. It's still so young.
something goes wrong.
I wasn't the
That's the
youngest
whole
there.
point of Templars.
Some children are promised to the Order.
But the
in
Order got
infancy.
twisted at some
Still,
point and they
I
became
didn't
more
take on full
keepers
responsibilities
than
until I was
watchers.
18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
You've lived in the Circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
Do Templars and mages never speak to each other?
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, we must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
Yeah,
That's
at least
all I
he
wanted
gets
to
the
know.
issue.
Thank you.
Should you require anything, I'll be here.
Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to attack you. Much.
Yes? I should get to know you better. We're working together after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
God, that is so awesome. What the hell?
I grew up in Ferelden, near Holland. I was This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion.
No, I'm not gonna flirt with him.
We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently, I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
You can... Hell, you can get the game and flirt with him. And yes, this is actually one of those sounds.
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years.
Can go.
Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
You who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between mages and Templars fell apart. An apostate lit up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
It's technically not false, that is what happened.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order. Red Lyrium had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
I'll let you return.
Did you need something?
Why do you want me to flirt with him?
Why would Templars break away from the Chantry?
The Order believes the Chantry no longer supports their efforts. Not to the extent they should.
But the Templars have served the Chantry for ages.
And in that time, they've come to take the Order's services for granted. Templars risk their lives against blood magic, demons, abominations, to feel as if those efforts are dismissed. I may disagree with the Order's actions, but I'm here as proof of that. But I sympathize with their frustrations.
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
What do you think of our ambassador?
I'm gonna be flirting with
We
her.
have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
How do you like working with Liliana?
The Inquisition would not exist without her. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than anyone.
I will
Cassandra
agree with
may have
that.
declared the Inquisition publicly, but Liliana is just as responsible for its formation.
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our numbers are small, but they suit our needs for the time being. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable in training new recruits.
I should let you get back to work.
See reason.
You're the one they're calling the
cannot stay
Herald.
here.
It rather rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
No. Your people believe in the stone and have never been friendly to the Chantry. I did not join the Order to adjust my faith so easily, but I appreciate what the Inquisition is trying to do and your role in it.
Though you may find not many Templars do. We're a distrustful lot by nature.
How did you come to be a Templar?
It seemed the right thing to do. My family are tradesfolk in Denerim. I could have become a cobbler like my father, but this seemed better. It's a chance to uphold the Chantry's laws and help the mages through a troubled time.
Not every Templar feels that way.
I know. Power can corrupt. It's a delicate balance.
And that it is.
One person trying to do something can make a difference. You should keep that in mind, Harold.
I'd like your take on the Templar Order.
I am kind
It's
of
a
an
shadow of
idealist
what it was.
myself.
Where once we both protected all people from the dangers of magic, we now posture and grab at power. One day, I hope the circles are again sanctuaries where mages can practice their craft.
See, that's what it used to be. The circles used to be places where mages
You're
were
not going to
allowed
rejoin
to
the Order?
practice magic,
When the temple went
kept
up,
away from
your
doing
forces
harm
rescued
from
those
normal
few of us
people,
still alive. My life is a debt I
and harm
intend
from
to repay,
themselves
however I can.
and other mages. It was a beneficiary thing for all
Do you
parties.
have any idea what caused the explosion?
No, I'm just a recruit. Belief and faith doesn't get... Though that distance did save my life.
I will talk to you later.
Walk in the...
Now it's time to save and talk with the sun. Ah, yeah, she's over here. You can flirt with her, but she's not my type. She's too serious. See, I can do that too. See, I can do it too. Talk. Some mages are dicks.
Ugh.
See, I can flirt with her. See, flirt. See, flirt. Flirt. So should I flirt with her now? I do prefer Montiego. Ah, a sucker for that accent of hers. Fine.
You're kind of a force of nature, aren't you?
When I need to be.
It's impressive.
You flatter me.
I'm trying.
Did I do the right thing?
I'm trying.
What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool. And they may be right.
What does your faith tell you?
I believe you are innocent. I believe more is going on here than we can see. And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain that it is hot. But is this the Maker's will? I can only guess.
You don't think I'm the Herald of Andraste?
I think you were sent to help us. I hope you were. But the Maker's help takes many forms. Sometimes it's difficult to discern who it truly benefits, or how.
What's going to happen now?
Now, we deal with the Chantry's panic over you before they do even more harm. Then we close the breach. We are the only ones who can. After that, we find out who is responsible for this chaos, and we end them. And if there are consequences to be paid for what I have done, I pay them. I only pray the price is not too high.
You didn't have any choice.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone. You've said you believe you're chosen. Does that mean you believe in the Maker?
You're asking a dwarf?
You're a surface dwarf. I've known some, like Varric, who... I suppose it doesn't matter now. I have to believe we were put on this path for a reason, even if you do not. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us.
I'm gonna go ding around and make myself some other armor. Should have enough to fully make it, don't I?
Good date.
Hi, Golden Mug.
Please send Visser our thanks for the refreshments.
Get the helm. Do not have the scales. Do you like the rain resistance? Or the cloth. So, yes, there are things you can do. Like this. The skin that shields. There's a different version of it. The skin that strikes. And the skin that stalks. But I prefer, like... I love the look of this, though. Oof.
Another time.
I'm not a big fan of Maul. Yeah, there's the axe of the Dragon Hunter, but I prefer Khan's Valor. Could make it. Let's see.
You need something? Let me know.
Really could make myself a OP deer. Jump. Hey, look, it's a nug. Die, nug.
One down!
A nug's a rabbitish creature. Really cute. And I killed it. It had been killed. Welcome to the Pressing Knees Simulator. Both legs, jump. We'll head back and talk to Cassandra again for a second. There's more to talk to her about. For the first little while, yeah. Oops. Wrong button.
It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
I thought you knew that.
I suppose I could ask Liliana. She has collected a frightening amount of information on you. But I don't want to ask her. I want to hear it from you.
Ostwick primarily, though my business took me around the free marches.
Ah, the Carter. Odd that organized crime could be a dwarven pastime, but there it is. Tell me, do you consider the Free Marches your home? Are you eager to go back?
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
Is there any harm in us becoming a little closer?
Plenty.
Is that right?
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lord.
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentecosts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentecosts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
And you joined the Seekers to get away from that?
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentecosts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
You don't seem to like your homeland.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a Mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Your uncle was a Mortalitasi?
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The Mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Navarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
So you were the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You thought you could really change things?
Justinia knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
So what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
I'm sure you're just being modest.
I was there. I think I know what happened. To hear
Oh,
others
I
tell it,
guess
I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart, and there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral that I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and Most Holy's gratitude. Many of them died at the conflict.
You're delightful. You know that?
No, I do not know that. I object. There is nothing delightful about me.
I beg to differ.
I think I preferred you in the stocks.
Okay.
I'll let you get back to work.
Greetings.
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
Not often, actually.
What are Seekers, exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
So nobody ever watched over the Seekers?
It was the Divine's duty. But she could only do so much when the truth was hidden from her. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes,
You seem to care a great deal about it.
too much, if you ask the rest of my order. When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Back to no one watching.
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the pure, and the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot...
Wish I could
If the vigil was not so arduous, what if mages never needed to feel? I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
I've no...
Do you need something?
May I ask you about...
It is difficult. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it. Andraste had a dream for us. If we are to spread the Maker's word across the world, we must do... A chance for renewal is at our fingertips.
What influence...
He's a bureaucrat, responsible for communication. Therefore, he's accustomed to the clerics hanging on his every word, hoping... Despite that, Roderick is not a bad man. He's frightened, and believes, some might agree. As far down the chain of command as he is, there is no one left above him.
How big a...
No more than he... He sent his message to the College of Clerics. That is the only... Dealing with him further only lends him credibility he doesn't deserve.
Will the Chantry
They will try. Once the priests withdraw for the Grand Consensus, it is against Chantry law. Sometimes it takes days. The problem now is that no clear successor to Justinia exists. All worthy clerics died with...
So what happened?
Theoretically, they will argue until exhaustion takes them, or they... Practically, however, if the Grand Consensus goes on too long, any cleric with ambition but little sense will see this as her one chance, and plenty of such clerics exist. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act
if they do choose.
That depends on... And even if she... I am no longer in a position to follow blindly, and no new divine could expect such obedience now.
I'm surprised you rebelled against the...
I left my own order when they took the wrong path, but in neither case did I stop caring. I suppose history shall one day judge my actions. Greetings.
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Tell me about...
I would prefer not to...
Okay, finally done with her. Sorry about that, people. I forgot how long she takes. Most everyone else is simple. It's not. Before I head off to the hinterlands, I have to find something. Should be... Oh, there's more iron ore back here again. I'll grab the iron ore. I need to. I cannot wait for that. Kind of a little bar you have. Ooh, there it is. Need to claim. claimed it in the name of me. Fear. Can't wait till I get my horses. I want my bog unicorn. Damn it, I can't get the bog unicorn, but I have to do a thing for it. Damn. I do like the bog unicorns, of course, though. Well, I'll go fill the requisition, then I have to head to the hinterlands. Ooh, then I do have to do the oasis, too. Sorry, talking to myself.
Nice work with those supplies. The smiths can use them to fit our troops with better gear. Might not affect you much, but our recruits will have better chances next time some monster flies out of a...
What do you...
Both are important. Turns out heroes need to dig the tree. Thanks for checking anyway.
All the things in this world are finite. What one man gains, another has lost.
Technically true.
Come to me, child.
See reason, Lisette. We cannot stay here.
Why not?
Come here, devils. I'm gonna quickly head to the Black Emporium, because it's always interesting. And considering I only have these people, I'll take them. Ah, the Black Emporium. Such a weird place. Ah, the Black Emporium.
Would you consider allowing me to acquire your hand? After your death, of course.
What a weird creature. That mirror allows you to change what your character looks like. Weapons and accessories. So let's see. Nothing I can afford right now, of course. That's actually not a bad mall. On kill, target explodes for 100% weapon damage. Interesting. Interesting. Ooh, that's not bad. Ah, schematics of legend. Really? Nothing? Oh, it must be because I already bought them all. Hello?
Everything is for sale. Except the rejuvenating oils. Those are for my personal use.
Well, Ryan, I have some mods installed that allow me to buy and sell for ridiculous amount. Well, buy for nothing and sell for massive amounts. The reason why I installed those mods were due to the fact of I got really sick of trying to farm up the cash. I know the areas to farm the cash, it just takes forever to farm it. I'll put it to you this way. First time I played the game, I spent about 15 hours farming for cash. For the most part. Just doing that area, which was killing giants. Really, that's it? Bit How'd you get over 1 million? Although it also does depend how far you are in the game. Later in the game it's super easy to make money, but early game it's a pain in the ass. I spent 15 hours just killing ogres because I had to get stuff from around that area anyways. I was just farming shit. But I have it set up so I can buy tier 4 mats for nothing and sell everything to a dude for 250%. So I'm just gonna buy and sell crap tons of mats. Plus I have all the crap I really need.
Herald of Andraste. I've heard the stories. Everyone has. We know what you did at the breach. It's good to see another dwarf in the Inquisition. There aren't many of us around. Inquisition Scout Harding, at your service.
The main issue I have is
all of us here will do whatever we can to help.
Farming mats is what pissed me off.
Ever been to Kirkwall's Hightown?
I can't say I have. Why?
You'd be Harding and... No, never mind.
Ugh.
The main reason I did it is because I wanted more specialized mats, like, there's the Fade Touch stuff. I have weird luck with Fade Touch crap, and always annoys me. I find a lot of certain types, but nothing of other types that I need.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
We should get to business. The situation's pretty dire. We came to secure horses from Redcliffe's old horsemaster. I grew up here, and people always said that Dennett's herds were the strongest and the fastest this side of the Frostbacks. But with the Mage Templar fighting getting worse, we couldn't get to Dennett. Maker only knows if he's even still alive.
I'm talking
Mother
about
Giselle's at
before
the crossroads
that. The
helping
easiest
refugees and the
way
wounded. Our latest reports
Before
say
any
that the war spread
DLCs
there
came
too.
out,
Corporal Vale and our men are doing what they can to help protect the people,
giants.
but
The giants
they
were
won't
the
be able to
easiest
hold
way.
out very long.
You'd kill
You
them,
best
take
get
their
going.
loot,
No time to lose.
kill them all, take their loot, leave, come back, kill them all, take their loot, leave, come back, kill them all, take their... Which was about 10-15 minutes worth of shit. And it did get tiresome.
Word for you.
What is it?
Could prove useful, sir.
I've never really gotten all the Ferelden locks that I've needed. So it's been weird. See, that was the issue. I farmed trying to get certain fade-touched materials because I needed them. Nothing more, nothing less. And that was that. But what ended up happening is the fade-touched materials didn't work properly for me. I would get tons of, like, I'll show you. I have mods that are going to allow me to buy them easily. And by easily, I mean, like, boom. No fuss, no muss.
The apostates have fled to the hills.
I always hated these. It is a really good game. But there was a lot of things that could have been more streamlined. Just saying.
What is that?
Oh no, you can get plenty of them. You can get unlimited. The main issue is that the drop rates were so scattered and there was such a variety of them that some were rarer than others. So farming them was a pain in the ass. Since you couldn't buy any of them, it was even worse. True. That was the issue. They should have, like with the Black Emporium there, they should have put some of the harder to get fade touched items in and made it so you could buy them. Simply put. Because it got really bullshit sometimes for how things worked. Just saying. I had times where things just wouldn't. I'll put it to you this way. I found 6 on my first playthrough of one type of cloth. Fade touched cloth. Weirdly enough, it was... What was the name of the one that started with an S? It was the red color S one. You know the one I'm talking about. It's like tier 2. But I'd always find it when I was getting tier 3 or higher. mats from a dropped body. And I'm like, what the hell is this shit? That's what annoyed me a lot. I played a elf assassin. My last one. A female elf assassin. If I get into the city, we'd find out. Samurai, maybe? Something like that. Doesn't matter. But you get my point, though. It was complete and utter just ridiculousness. It made no sense.
What is this?
Don't like that one, personally. I don't like playing mages. I can't stand it. It bothers me. Just simply bothers me.
Fine work out there, killing those vultures.
People will think twice before attacking the Inquisition now.
Weirdly enough, probably. This game is set up more for controller, but I'm on PC, so I'm playing with mouse and keyboard. And I'm not going to change it now. Because I'm stubborn. My dad just got this game and has been playing it. Tickles. So, who do you like as a mage in this game?
Make her take you!
No, I don't care. I'm also playing like 5 different games, so that's why I keep messing up with controls. You play more than one game. Interesting.
Templar bastards killed my... We're the Templars. They don't care who they kill anymore.
You're saying the Templars attacked your husband?
Aye. He was digging out a stump. The fools couldn't tell a shovel from a mage's staff. Had to be safe, they said. Rebels everywhere attacking by surprise, sick bastards. They took the ring I gave him on our wedding day in case it was magic.
Farewell.
Assholes. I'm going to kill you all. What you get, Tommy?
I
thought that guy was just
the
standing
mages and the
there.
Templars has cost too many innocent lives.
Give me your loots. All your loots belong to me. Personally, I do not like the Templars. I find them a bit too stuck up for my liking. Is a mild way of putting it. I spent a crap ton of time in this area. I'll spend enough time in it anyways. I'll probably spend at least 5-6 hours in this area.
Excuse me, have you seen another Inquisition scout? Elven woman, answers to writs.
You said your friend hasn't reported back?
She was supposed to be checking on... I'm on duty here, or I'd go look for her.
I'll talk to you later.
We could make camp here.
Why side with Templars? Jeez. I side with mages always. I really do not like the Templars because they turned away from their original position. That is what I don't like. If you've played the first games, you would understand what I mean by that. It's disheartening. At least to me.
Damn it, Ritz, where are you?
I think about it like this. The Templars have abused their position of what they originally were. The Templars were meant to help and protect the mages. To watch over to make sure nothing bad happened. And instead of doing that, they became tyrants. The mages started to fight back and, well, yeah, they did start whining. Eventually, someone forced them to take action, aka Anders.
You know, not every dwarf likes caves.
Yeah, so did I. I actually played the other ones before I started this one up again. I forgot that you can't fucking roll data over into this game like you could with the other ones. Annoying. Not all mages. Some in the first game, that wasn't the circle's fault. There were a few within the circle that got power hungry. However, there was also... This is my whole philosophy on the whole debacle between the two. Both sides are wrong. Mages should be contained, yes. However, Templars should work with mages in an attempt to work with mages. Help them keep themselves safe, and yeah. Instead, what ends up happening is people end up being idiots and then, yeah. Yeah, but that means you have to redo everything. That's what I didn't like. Whoa. I did tell my dad when this game was on sale, and he did. I told him he'd like it. He does. It is a good game. It's one of the better RPGs that have come out in a while. Still is one of the better RPGs that has come out in a while. The main issue is not many good RPGs come out anymore.
Your abilities are remarkable, Seeker. It is fascinating to see how you and the Templars negate magic.
Have you never encountered Templars before?
Only at a distance. I am an apostate after all.
And they never caught up with you even once?
I am a very careful apostate.
Also, I could spoil something, but that goes into future DLC content for this game, which I also figured out like a third way through this game or when I was originally playing it, because I'm not an idiot. Because he always seems to know way too much. Sad fact of state is, everyone who wants power causes issue for others, because all they want is stuff that they can't have themselves. It is their envy that gets them. Dragon's Dogma is old, though. If you're talking about the PC version, yeah, I guess, but that's only because it just recently got ported. I have it on my PS3. It's like 3 years older than this game. Well, it is a good game. Not gonna argue that. I'm just saying it's old by comparison. And Solus is okay for early game, but as soon as you get Vivian, she's all you need. I know they remastered it. It's a good game. I do really like how they instigated the jumping and climbing schematics in that game. The only issue I have is with Dark Arisen. In Dark Arisen, they focus that game more for you being ranged and kind of negate your ability to be close range. That I didn't like. You know what I mean, though? They make that game way easier. Way easier. Darker is way easier for anyone who's ranged. For that whole thing. It's all supposed to be ranged. Melee has such a handicap in Darker is good. Yeah, the Knight Enchanter is like, oh, that makes. Once I got her, I didn't even bother doing other things, because it was, yeah. Oh, you know what I mean, though. Do you not agree with that, though? That Dark Arisen itself was geared heavily towards ranged. I only had melee, so I was like, well, fuck. I played it on normal, and it was still pretty difficult if you didn't play it. I knew what the fuck to do. That's what I liked it. It was challenging, but it was just the right amount of challenge. Plus, it has an actual story, which I liked. And there was always hidden stuff to find, no matter how many times you played through the game. Oh, I did like their method of, what was that? Sorry, brain taking a fart. The flying mechanics for the car were stupid. Way too difficult to control, for no real reason. But other than that, yeah, it was a good game. I just do not like silver. Even though that was half the way to get to some of the more interesting stuff that would appear, I just didn't like the flying car. It felt incomplete. It felt like it was a hodgepodge put together. Like, the quest for it was fun, but everything else? No. One of the main issues in 15 was the fact that any battle could simply be solved by you teleporting to recover. That made it kind of pointless. Certain things kind of pointless. There was a few things I would have loved to actually, like the battle with Adamantite. It was just button mashing. That's all it was. I killed it. Don't care, killed it. Alright, so you have a good one now, Ryan. Good talking to you too. I like how he killed me after he died. That was interesting.
Whoever this dwarf was, he was in over his head.
I do have my own theories on red lyrium. Well, just lyrium in general. Here, Nuggy Nug Nug. Hi, Nug. How are ya?
How do you write as you do? I can never find the proper words.
You, right? Really?
I've needed to describe events in reports. They always come off as...
Dry, boring, lifeless, stale.
You are an ass.
Just helping you find those words.
Didn't even try. Load my last save. There was no hope in that. I realized that partway through. I'm like, oh, well, I'm fucked.
Templar deserters?
How'd you like that, assholes?
Remember there being a way to get there and save her. I think it's coming up from this way.
Templar deserters?
There must be something here.
How'd you like that, asshole? If not for you, I'd be dead.
There we go.
Do you need anything? I should probably report back.
This is a mage.
Eldreda, yes. I think that was her name. At least I'd heard other apostates call her that.
It looks like someone was having a picnic.
Yes. The mage must have been hunting for blood magic. The Templars attacked the apostate. I suppose I just got caught in the middle. So, the truth. I may have been
passing time with Eldreda.
You were trying to find a moment's peace in the midst of this war.
Yes. At first, she was just a mage who saw me and didn't attack, but later we... So, are you going to report me?
I've known my fair share of smugglers and thieves. You'd fit right in. And the Inquisition can use someone like you. If you can seduce an apostate in the middle of war, you can make contacts and get information.
All right. I can do that. And thanks for going easy on me.
Agent acquired. It is true, though. You can seduce an apostate in the middle of a fucking war. Damn. She talented. Maybe it was Velveteen. I need to go to my inventory. Item level 8, requirements level 4.
A Templar, I believe.
The Maker has...
How long have I been streaming? Almost 2 hours. Okay.
I know
do
you,
a little
the
bit more
They
than
call
I
you
think
the
I did.
Herald of Andraste for what you did at Haven. But are you?
The Maker has not told me.
I honestly don't know myself.
As I suspected, stories of you mastering the rifts are just blind heresy.
No, I can seal rifts.
Then prove it. Show me that the rifts bend to your will, the will of the Maker. Show me the power you wield.
This cult. What are you doing out here? What is it you think is happening?
The Chantry has fallen, and shown its imperfection in doing so. The Chant of Light was a lie. It was arrogance to think that mortal lips could frame the Maker's will, and so we wait in silence. The Maker has opened the sky. Soon he will call his chosen back to the Golden City.
Until later.
Until the Maker brings you back to us.
Crazy.
I suppose it only natural that some would turn to worshipping the breach, if only in hopes of appeasing it.
Look, there are Inquisition soldiers even here. I told you we would be safe. I'm not certain, my lady. We could still return to your family's estate. No. There is nothing for me back there.
Your mother and his
Your father's passing at the Conclave. No. We can never go back.
The Inquisition can defeat the world. We will
find peace in the world to come. My lady, your father would not want this.
How did they make it?
My father is gone.
The hell? That was weird.
Travel safely.
You bear the mark of the sky. Be well. You bear the mark of the sky. You honor us.
Okay then. Weird kid. You bear the mark of the sky. Really, Solus?
Be well.
I remember how to get that one. That's gonna be a pain in my ass. Hey, no pushing.
Peace. Travel safely.
Shouldn't we travel to Val Royeaux now, Seeker? The breach isn't going to close itself. Indeed. The sooner we obtain help for the breach, the better.
I have found all 29 bottles before. By the way, it's a pain in the ass.
Excuse me. While you were coming up, did you meet a young noblewoman with blonde hair and pale green eyes? Lady Velena should be here. We need to be together when the Maker comes.
I found a woman's body down the hill with a letter on it.
This letter... Velena is dead. But we were meant to be together. The Maker would not keep us apart. What am I supposed to do now?
The Inquisition needs men who believe as strongly as you do. Come and help us restore order.
Yes. If waiting here in the hills leaves innocents to die, then I will bring the Maker's word by the sword. My men and I will lend our strength to the Inquisition. Thank you.
Still a pain in the ass.
Travel safely.
Maker's tears. I was a fool to have doubted you. How may we serve you? Herald of Andraste.
Have your people help the refugees.
As you say, Herald of Andraste. Some few will remain here. The rest will go forth to do your will.
Alright, now that that's completed, travel to this location, since there's nothing else I really can do down here. That will get me restocked.
Nothing to report, sir.
And I'll save. Actually, I'll have to do his levels, then I'll have to resave. Alright, everyone. Hope you had fun while you were here, and thanks for coming. Later on.